Is Alex, is the store still open for us?
It should be.
Come on in, we're gonna go to stage 2.
All right. Oh, this is so cool. Wow.
So, welcome to stage 2, AKA I Love Lucy stage.
I know you gonna dig this.
Get funky with me.
What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Here I am in the heart of Hollywood, California, at Sunset Las Palmas Studios. This is the opening shot of the movie The Player. I don't know if you remember The Player with Robert Altman. Did a crane shot going all the way around here to this building right here. Tim Robbins would have been in the window right there, but this is a very historic movie studio. It's been owned by about 3 or 4 different people. I'm going to get the whole history of it very soon from somebody. Mr. Ed, I Love Lucy, Green Acres, Jeopardy, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, countless movies. Beyonce's wardrobe is stored here, her personal wardrobe. There's a bunch of stages. I'm going to find out exactly how many stages. And I'm here with my good friend Thomas right here. Oh, I've been down a minute. There you go. Get in. Here, perfect. Stand up here.
Hello!
There we are. This is Thomas, film director, producer, writer.
Yes, director.
Director. You have an office here on the lot.
I do.
You know a lot about, no pun, a lot about what was shot here, what's been done here. This is exclusive.
Exclusive.
Nobody's allowed on this lot to just walk around.
Just got on tape here.
And I thank you for that. You reach out to me, so thanks, man. This is awesome. He's been telling us the history with me. Pete from the Totally 80s Room. Alex, his producing partner, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thomas, let's go. You're the star. I want to know what the hell this place is all about, because this is awesome. 1 second, don't speak. I'm going to turn the camera on you. You ready for your close-up?
Sure.
All right.
The place was actually built in 1918 from Charlie Chaplin's art department. Charlie Chaplin's art department wanted to jump into the film business and build these stages, because all these stages were getting erected all around Hollywood. And Charlie gave him some money and he built the stage. So during the course of I would say this place is probably one of or the oldest sound stages in Hollywood. And everything you can think of started here. From the first talkies was over here. I'll show that to you guys in a little bit. It's like stage 1 and 2, which is also famous for 2 other things, and I'll bring that up to you when we get over there. But a lot of movies were here, a lot of movies, television shows, with Harry Met Sally and Throw Mama from the Train and The Player,
Right.
and Shampoo. But there's a lot of things that happened recently that I can't mention to you guys yet because it's not out.
A lot of Netflix shows are filming here right now.
Lots of Netflix stuff, lots of... Francis Ford Coppola then owned a studio in the late 70s, from 78, 79 to 85, where he's done tons of his stuff. Some of the Outsiders, the big casting thing about Outsiders, where you hear about all the young actors, who's who from being 12 years old, actors from 12 to 25, all came on the set, all came on this location to audition for Francis. Part of the Outsiders was shot here. Rumblefish was shot here. Some of his, I believe it was Black Stallion Returns, parts of Apocalypse Now. But the movie that kind of made it for him when he bought the studio was One from the Heart, which kind of hurt him as well, and that's when he lost the studio. There's a big stage over here that he actually remade Fremont Street on it from Las Vegas. It was pretty cool. Television, going back to I Love Lucy, the first 2 seasons was shot here. Mr. Ed, Petticoat Junction, Addams Family, Green Acres, You're So Raven, Fresh Prince, all that, Soul Train, Star Search, Jeopardy, all that stuff all came from here. Whether they stayed here for a few years and then left afterwards and went on to other stages.
But you were saying Curb Your Enthusiasm?
Yeah. So
that's right here.
Yeah. So if you've seen the movie The Player, this is the opening shot of the film, where they kind of start off here and then they swing around, and we end up in
Tim Robbins' office.
Tim Robbins' office. That's right. Which was right here, Building 2. Was where Tim's Robbins' office was, and then back there, stage 3 was Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right there.
And I believe The Pink Ladies was also written out of there. Animal Control is one of the newest shows out. That's this building. Stage 7, Stage 5, and Stage 4 all housed the same universe for Petticoat Junction, Green Acres, and Mr. Ed.
Oh, wow. And Burns and Allen.
And Burns and Allen, which was Stage 2. George Burns, which was great that you just brought that up. George Burns came here in the 50s, and he never left until he retired. And one of these buildings was his bungalow. I don't know which one yet, but when he left, he left.
But this was
CD was Mae West's bungalow. And then next to that, the Marx Brothers, they had their stuff in there. Lauren Hardy was here as well. It's pretty surreal when you find out everything that was shot here, or iconic films, or iconic promotions and television shows, what came from this studio. And when we were looking, when Alex and I were looking for office space and studio space, and this fell on our lap, I was like, well, you know, this is just, even La La Land, that's one of the last movies that was shot here. Margot Robbie was just here with Colin Farrell shooting the movie, which is pretty cool. Brad Pitt was just here last week. Netflix is here doing their thing. But come on, I'll show you some of the old posters too. We're going to go cut down this little street.
All right.
And his son, Ricky Nelson's sons were the Nelson twins.
Yeah. Right. After the Rain, wasn't that their big song?
That's right.
Yeah, what was their other big hit?
The cool thing about an Addams Family, not only was the TV show shot here, the movies were shot here as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I always thought was fascinating.
Now, just by people speaking to you, or listening to you, or by me speaking, obviously not a native Californian. You've got the New York accent still, right?
Something I can't get rid of.
No.
But I like it. It gives me character.
So you've directed 15 films, right? You said 15?
A little more than that, but 15 in the last 10, 12 years.
That's incredible. But what made you but you know so much of the history of Hollywood and movies and this particular studio. Did you know about the history of this place before you got the offices here?
No. What the crazy thing was, I was the kid from New York that was always wanted to be an actor, and when I fell in love with the acting and I learned a lot of stuff about Hollywood, and you learn things as you're old. I made my first movie at 17, but when I moved out here, I had various office spaces in different areas, but it was last year. I'm a PGA member, the Producers Guild, and we were at a Christmas party, and they had the Christmas party here. And it was around the same time that Alex and I were looking for our home for Churchill Productions. And I was looking and figuring out, and when we came out of the stage, we're going to go into that stage, by the way. When we came out of that stage, the studio itself had like a table, like for all the producers to grab like a swag bag and say, hey, come shoot your movies here. So I said, oh, you guys have any office space and stages and all? And they said, come down for a meeting. And next thing I know, we're on a lot. And I feel grateful and I feel blessed every day.
You should also mention you have a YouTube channel.
Oh, I do. Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's called Church's Hollywood Moments. So come join me.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
All right, what do we got for us?
So what's really cool about this lot, and I always find it fascinating with all the classic sitcoms that started here, and I never understood why, like Mr. Ed and Beverly Hillbillies and Lucy and Petticoat Junction, there was always like an episode of them going to Hollywood
Right.
and going on a movie studio lot. That was here. Every show that you ever saw that they had, they won a trip or they're going there, so it was all shot here. Why? Convenience.
Right.
The writers will be like, oh, what do we do? What do we write? Oh, they went to Hollywood. There's a crossover episode of Mr. Ed and Green Acres where Arnold the pig meets Mr. Ed on
Really?
a state, yes, on a show. I don't know if it was the first or second season of Green Acres, but they get to go to Hollywood, and while Arnold is on the lot, he bumps into Mr. Ed.
That was shot here.
And there was, so I believe stage 7 was Beverly Hillbillies. It was either 7 or 4 was Beverly Hillbillies on Petticoat Junction, because number 5, which is near my office, that was where Green Acres was shot.
Okay.
And the cool thing is these 2 buildings, I'm going to show you right now. Oh, and the Lone Ranger was shot here. Right?
Yeah.
These 2 buildings, stage 1 and stage 2, are the only buildings that are separated by lots of space, because those were the first stages to be built for talkies.
These ones.
Yeah, stage 1 up here.
Yeah.
And
Stage 2.
which happens to be called, well, I'll show you the plaque.
Huh. Oh, wow.
The George Burns stage. So this is where he did his Grayson Alley show. George and Gracie show.
Right.
Was that called? Yeah. So he was here from the 50s until he retired. I think it was mid 90s, either somewhere between 94 and 96. He had an office here, and they named a stage after him, and he never left until he retired. So George Burns called this place home too.
Wow.
And then the stage I'm going to show you now is pretty iconic.
Iconic.
Alex, is this door still open first?
It should be.
Come on in, we're going to go to stage 2.
All right. Oh, this is so cool. Wow.
So, welcome to stage 2, aka I Love Lucy stage, where Lucy performed for 2 years, for the first 2 years of their career, of their show. There's pictures all around.
Oh, yeah.
That'll show you what the stage looked like back in the day. And it was actually this stage that the Producers Guild had their Christmas party. And Alex and I were at this table. There was a table right here. And I remember looking up and seeing that and saying, oh, I wonder why they have that here. That's pretty cool. I didn't even notice the other pictures.
Right.
So I asked the security guard, hey, what's the significance to having the I Love Lucy thing? He goes, this is the stage. This is where they did it for the first 2 years. And I said, wow.
Wow. That
So
is
that
amazing.
iconic living room,
It was here.
the iconic kitchen, and everything else that they did, the Babalu club that they went to was all here. And the cool thing is, this building right here, this structure, was where they had the audience to sit. So there's a door, there was a doorway over here that the fans would come in and make their way on the benches and get ready for the show.
This is where it was. This is where the
This
audience
is where
sat.
the audience sat, and then this is where the show was.
Oh, facing this way.
And then this is the only stage on this lot that actually has another stage in here as well. So the Lucy stage has 2 stages. Let me see if there's a light here. If there's no light right here, then... No. I was going to go grab
It would have been
myself.
great. Well, yeah, it's a little lighter.
Let me see if there's a light here. Light switch here.
Yeah. There we go.
The cool thing about this room, that door was, well, is it this door, Alex? But one of these 2 doors is where Lucy would sneak in, because that's one of them goes to her dressing room, which I'm going to show you outside.
Oh, wow.
The studio built, so that's the door that she would come in from her dressing room. So the studio built an extra doorway outside where Lucy would kind of come in before the crowd, sneak into her dressing room, get prepared, and then come walking out to the
Greet the
actual
crowd
stage.
and-
Yeah, because this, I believe this was probably, I don't think they ever shot anything in here, unless maybe they did, but no audience was in here because it's too small. But I think this was probably maybe where they were prepped and everything before they walked out on stage to the crowd, because they're playing for the audience.
Yeah.
Because the other hallway down there is where some of the other green rooms are and everything else if they had guests. And there's a cool thing outside this studio. We'll take a walk back out, but if you guys want to get whatever footage you
Yeah,
want.
take a look at these pictures here.
Yeah, these pictures are amazing.
Wow.
Back when you were able to promote smoking.
Philip Morris. These
Philip
are,
Morris and all, you know.
Take your money.
Yeah.
look at that. It's crazy how everybody's dressed up so nice.
Yeah, that was the era, man.
Yeah, that was what it was like, yeah.
Here's the,
Oh, there's Lucille Ball right there. Wow.
yeah, and here's the other one. There's the group right here. You got Desi, Lucy, Vivian, and Fred. Not Fred, what the hell is this? William. They're all sitting here with, I guess these were the producers. And
Oh, there's the
writers
kitchen.
and directors
Oh, there's the
on
kitchen.
this page, on this poster right here.
Wow. Oh, yeah, there they are.
I mean, if you listen quietly, and just at the right moment when the wind blows, you'll hear.
Nice. So that looks like, yeah, that building, no, this one.
Yeah.
That's really cool, but
And then this is sometimes we
Shot
we
that
want
way.
a stick ball, so we'll come in here and we'll make a little home plate and we'll throw it. No, I'm kidding. That's what we used to do back east when we were kids. That little X with the square you know, would be on the back of a garage, and we would be using that as a home
strike
plate.
zone.
That's the strike. That's not that tall.
oh, I guess there'd be enough room for the whole set
and
there.
then you see she's standing on a little lift, so there's wheels under that.
Right.
So they'll just push that out of the way, unless they just had one section that had the living room and the kitchen, and then whatever they were going to shoot that week, they would build that other set. But most of, if you think about I Love Lucy, it was always the living room
Yeah.
and the kitchen.
Well, isn't that one of the show? They never showed the bathroom.
Never showed the bathroom. Even to this date, you don't really see things with bathrooms. Even Seinfeld, when they did that.
We saw Kramer in the shower a lot.
But you never saw the toilet.
No.
The toilet was always forbidden.
Yeah.
And I Love Lucy was considered the first sitcom, first situation comedy,
Right.
hence sitcom. And I just find it fascinating. I think it's great to actually stand on a stage that built so much history, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Learned this literally a couple weeks ago, where, well, you know, with sitcoms, you would think that, you know, everybody had a sitcom or whatever, but if you think about the sitcom, from the mid-'80s to present, all sitcoms are designed to be around stand-up comics.
Yeah.
So if you look back at all these big sitcoms that were successful, they're all stand-up comics because they're expecting their following to come and tune in. But back in the day, like the Mr. Ed and this and Green Acres and Lucy, they weren't comics. But it's just funny how, when you think about it, you know, King of Queens, Seinfeld, Roseanne, Home Improvement.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
They're all
Goes
based
on.
on. They're all based on a particular comic and his show.
Yeah. After Seinfeld popped in like third season, every comic
it.
was offered a show.
Perfect. And when I learned that, I was like, oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think Roseanne was the first kind of. Well, I mean, Freddie Prinze, Chico and the Man, but he wasn't the star. He was, you know,
Right. It was
co-star.
Well, Red Fox was also a comic.
Red Fox, yeah.
So it goes back to maybe they.
Sanford and Son, yeah.
But see, but All in the Family was a sitcom.
Right.
It was, but
They
none
were
of them
no,
were,
they
you
weren't
know.
comedians, no.
You can't have that type of show these days.
No.
All in the Family. Even though that, everything, you would think the guy was racist and he started off with all this thing, but at the end of the show, it all came to a head where he was, thick-headed and he wasn't.
He learned his lesson.
He learned his lesson, and that's great television,
Yeah.
for people to learn what they got to do.
Yeah, with Norman Lear, where he passed away recently too,
Yeah,
right?
He was 100 and. Oh yeah. There you go. I Love Lucy.
Wow.
Now, if you stare at this picture long enough, you can hear it talk. Lucy, you have explaining to do.
You really can. Look at the money in his head. Look at the wad of money. And you really.
Got that look like, I don't know.
It's hard. When, yeah, and like, the amount of makeup on him in that photo is you can really tell. She was very beautiful.
They got a big painting of her in the back here. I'll show it to you. Try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud. So cool.
So this is Francis Ford Coppola's studio here.
The entire place was his.
Right, yeah, but he shot
one from the heart in this particular stage. And he turned this stage, because it's one of the largest stages on the lot, he turned this into Fremont Street.
Right.
Pretty ironic. Iconic. Not ironic that he made it into it. And then right now they're shooting something for, I think, Lionsgate. But I'm going to walk you over here, and I'm going to tell you guys to turn around, but don't turn around yet.
Okay.
And I'm going to bring you something.
Can we-
Lauren Hardy.
Oh yeah, look here.
Mae West.
Hopalong Cassidy,
Hopalong Cassidy.
Mae West.
But follow me this way for me.
Okay. Crazy.
I guess we'll do it right here because there's people standing there. So there was a small movie called La La Land.
Right.
And there's this big scene in the film where Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone are walking, and there's like this montage that they're on a studio lot, which I believe that was done in Warner Brothers. But then they stop to have a conversation. It was done right here. She went into stage 6, and then the camera turns around and looks at him, and then we see that iconic billboard behind him,
Oh really?
which used to be a Coca-Cola painting, and then someone painted over the Coke bottle, and they made a coffee and fixed her hand. So
Oh, it looks like she was holding a Coke.
right, the top of it.
Right.
But they didn't do that for La La Land. They did that for something else, so they can always use that if they need to.
She also mentioned the Jacksons rehearsed for their victory tour here.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I was telling you.
Yeah,
That's excited
somebody I
me.
know, and a guy named Scott on tape.
That and Soul Train. That is just incredible. That Soul Train was shot
And
here.
Star Search.
Star Search.
So Ryan Gosling, how's this to blow your mind? Ryan Gosling was discovered on Star Search on the studio lot, where later on he will shoot several films. One
Right.
of them being La La Land on the same lot.
Right.
Ain't
Crazy.
That cool?
Yeah.
Talk about a kid with a dream.
A Canadian kid.
And he had a good dad. Yeah.
Ed McMahon made it happen.
Ed McMahon can make anything happen. You know, so we're on the other side now of the Lucy stage.
Yeah. So no,
Oh.
not Lucy. This is the Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh right, this is Francis Ford Coppola stage. What's that on the side there?
This is the mural for the Hells Angels that Howard Hughes shot his movie here. And Jean Harlow, which was a silent film actress, the blonde, became a star from this movie.
Wow. So is this where the first talkies were shot on this stage?
Stage where I Love Lucy
Right.
and George Burns,
Right.
those two stages.
Okay.
And then this building is called the Hollow Building.
Oh wow!
And
Look at
it's
this.
from this is a whole different company. This is a company that does post-production and everything else. So
Yeah.
then we're gonna go. Here's the Lucy I was showing you guys.
Crazy.
This used to be his courtyard.
This was Francis Ford Coppola's courtyard.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And then they started to do like when
Oh wow!
Donald O'Connor, who was in Singing in the Rain,
Yeah.
he had a TV show here at one point back in November in 1954. And
Look at these.
they were gonna do like a little handprints
Sure.
of all the people, but I guess they only started and stopped with Donald.
Well, who is that? They got somebody here. This is, who's that say? Sidney Poitier? Is that Sidney Poitier?
No, not Point. I don't know. They're all from the same show, all same day.
Oh, Bill. Yeah, Bill. No.
So, and if you watch the documentary Heart of Darkness,
Yeah.
you'll see him right in this area on the phone talking. He's getting aggravated, but this was his little courtyard.
Wow.
And one of these buildings were his. I don't know which one yet. And it was pretty cool for her.
Which one?
This white door was for Lucy to sneak in.
Where it says emergency?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was built for her just to come in so she doesn't have to go near the crowd. And then this building right here was her dressing room.
Oh wow, right in
And
here.
then she would go into this building to her stage. So, dressing room, came in, snuck in, went in here to her dressing room, and came out and walked out to the stage. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because at that time, she was a big star.
Right.
She's still a big star. But the first two seasons.
We should mention that Desilu.
Yeah. So-
They owned.
So not only did Desilu have all these properties like Green Acres and Petticoat Junction, Mr. Ed, and the Lucy Show, they also owned Star Trek.
Right.
And so they went to the Paramount lot for a short period of time until they moved to Culver City, where they ended up buying their own studio and became Desilu Films.
Right.
Desilu Productions was based. They wanted this studio at one point, but the whoever owned it at that time, it could have been James Cagney and his brother at the time, or still could have been Howard Hughes, didn't want to sell it.
Right.
So from the art director, from Charlie Chaplin's art director, it changed hands numerous times from James Cagney and his brother, who there's two iconic films I could tell you when I get back to the office that they shot here as well. It's just mind blowing. When you
Right.
read it, you're like, oh my God, they shot that here too.
Right.
So, and then they wouldn't sell it to Lucy and Desi, so they went off and bought their own.
Right.
But this would have been perfect. The stages are pretty high here. This is Adam Sandler was here looking at these stages to possibly shoot his new film.
Happy Gilmore too.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. Amping it up to the 2000s. My favorite show, Curb Your Enthusiasm, right in here, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So as I said earlier, this is the back of Mae West's bungalow. This wasn't here. This piece wasn't here. So they just built the structure, but this was Mae West, and I think it was either Lauren Hardy or George Burns. He might have had the Mae West one. They're trying to put some big posters up to show like what else was shot here besides the vintage shows that were here.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things that were shot here that they should be advertising. But you got to understand, it was always independent hands
Right.
that owned it, and now this company that owns it wants to do some great things with it. So I believe that they're going to be putting up some modern posters of things that was actually shot here and was successful and everything else. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So these are your films. Here we are in your part of your office.
Part of my office.
Do you like Marilyn Monroe by chance?
Yeah, there's a project that we're actually working
Wow.
on called M that we're going to be getting out very soon, which has to do about Maryland.
Right.
So these three films are the Amityville Harvest, the Amityville Moon, and Amityville Uprising are all streaming right now on cable,
Right.
and whatever. It's my version of Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, but only it takes place in Amityville, the town. Those are three, but come on over.
Yeah.
Oh, and this poster right here is a movie called Jack in Blue that Alex and I produced, and it actually is a short film, and it was submitted to the Academy, and we got into the Academy to possibly be into the short finals category, but we didn't make it. But we got in. The movie
Nice.
got into the Academy and got voted on, which we're very, very happy about.
Nice.
So, and then this is the main office. Come on in. Come on
Beautiful.
into
Look at
Churchill.
this.
Welcome to Churchill Productions. This is where the magic happens.
Another assistant?
Yeah, that's Wolfie. Wolfie was in the Amityville Moon.
Wow.
And then we did a movie called The Godfather Buck, Day of the Living Dead. The Hard Way is a movie I wrote that's on Netflix. Checkpoint, wrote, produced, directed. Big Freaking Rat.
Big Freaking Rat is like what meets what?
It is Friday the 13th meets Jaws, but with a giant rat. It's doing very good in Europe. Germany loves that movie.
Germany
So
loves
much better with the New York accent.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you say the title.
That's why I wanted to repeat it.
So much better.
Friday the
Big freaking
13th
rat.
meets Jaws with a big freaking rat.
That's right.
So much better that way.
And then we got Devereaux is a film we did that's streaming still, and one of our Christmas movies called The Business of Christmas, which I believe is on BET Plus.
Oh, wow.
All the films are streaming and out and everything else, but what's cool. So we were talking about outside about how movies, TV shows were popular at one point, and then Hollywood, as I was told, was like, oh, Hollywood's running out of ideas, and they're kind of remaking the same stuff. I thought the same thing, but then when you look back at it, they're missing the mark. I'm an independent guy, but I do work with a lot of the studios. But when you're missing the mark, let me lower this so YouTube don't flag anybody. If you're remaking a property that was popular in the 70s or the 80s,
Right.
and you're going to redo it now for this audience, I get the mentality. It was successful then. Maybe the new audience would like it, but you got to also understand the new audience is a different audience.
Right.
And what was good then is not what they want to see now. For example, somebody said, Tom, you're a horror guy, which I do a lot of horror and action and family. They asked me, how come all these remakes don't work? And I said, it's just what you said. It's a remake. A true fan, like Nightmare on Elm Street, didn't want to see a revamped version of Nightmare on Elm Street with different people and get told the same story. We want to see maybe Robert Englund in it one more time, half of them at least, just from here up, and then get a stunt guy. You can do that. And tell another story, another chapter. That's what horror fans want to see.
Right.
You're going to do another Friday the 13th? Give me another story of where Jason is these days. Don't remake the same stuff. True fans don't want to see it. Look what happened with Child's Play, the remake. Nobody went. Nobody went to see the Nightmare on Elm Street. Nobody went to see, so it all the Texas Chainsaw Massacres, they're rebooting in different things.
Yeah.
Pick a version and stick with it. Continue from it. Tell a story from it. Don't just, think that the audience wants to be told the story again.
Yeah.
So that's why. I mean, people remake. So Hollywood does run out of ideas at times, and they go back to see what was popular during this era, during May of, insert a year here.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily the case. But if you want to know more, come to my channel.
Yes.
Church's Hollywood
Church's
Moments.
Hollywood. Because you're doing your own original ideas, for sure.
Yes, we pretty much, we write, we produce, we direct, we produce for other people. We pretty much have our own stuff that we do when we write and direct our own films. We have a slate of films that we're looking to do. And what was really cool is the next step for Alex and I as partners, when we were looking to go, where can we have our office? Where can we set up our office at? And when this fell on my lap, it made sense. Here is a kid from Brooklyn. I still call myself a kid. Kid from Brooklyn and Queens, New York, that always wanted to be in the movie business and always want to make movies in Hollywood. And here I'm living a dream. I'm grateful and thankful each day of my life that I get to do films in Hollywood on a studio lot, one of the oldest studios that's around, and I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the people I met, like you guys. I'm grateful for my friends and family and the movie business, because I'm not jaded yet.
Not yet.
I don't think I will be, because I love it too much. I absolutely love the world of make-believe and what you can do.
Right.
And make it an audience. When an audience comes in, they pay money or whatever, watch a movie, they forget what they're going on for 2 hours in a day, and they get sucked into the story you're telling them for them to relax and be entertained. That's what it's all about.
There's nothing more entertaining than a big freaking rat.
Big freaking rat.
Big freaking rat. Oh, there we are. That's good.
You want me to stay this way? I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're rolling. You made a movie before. You know what happens, right? When I press record. Pete, Alex, thank you. It was the Thomas show today, though. Learning all this history. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being here, man.
Name your channel once again.
Church's Hollywood Moments, and everybody that's watching Church's Hollywood Moments on my channel. Well, you're already on Scott on Tape.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you for being here.
That was amazing.
You guys.
Give
me a hug. Give me a hug.
See Thomas
Look.
again soon.
Look, we're hugging. Look, we're hugging. Look, he's tall. He really is tall.
I am pretty tall.
Look, if you stand like this, I look like a little. Look at the muscle.
Well, that's the twins. That's Mary Kate and Ashley. You know that. But look what I can do. Yeah.
Very shiny.
Buff it.
Buff it.
I'll buff it right out.
There you go.
Thanks a lot, everybody. Peace.